two out of three. I think we have next the spine jack. So spine jack, basically, that is a third generation of augmentation. You have more flexibility in terms of direction of the augmentation. So basically, it's a craniocaudal system that, since 2018, with the SACOS trial, demonstrated 3 claims of superiority versus balloon kyphoplasty to be able to restore the height. So they demonstrated that in their study, they were able to produce better height restoration, to decrease a little bit more the pain of patients treated, and also demonstrated that they had less adjacent level fracture. So it is a stem that I use in younger patients, thoracolumbar junction, also Megarry type A 2.2 fracture, so the coronal cleft fractures, the split fracture. So great system. So we'll get started here. All right. Picture here. Picture. So we'll just do just one side, just for sake of time, to keep on track. And during the picture, oops. And during the lab, you guys will have the chance to trial it as needed. Picture. All right. Picture. All right. Let's go lateral here. Yep. So before starting this one, I like to make sure that my GEMS-CD is very well parallel to the Implant. Again, it is a craniocaudal lift that you want to have. So you want to be well positioned to picture here. So let's just go a little bit more fairer. Picture. All right, so that looks pretty good here. So we can go back AP. You don't have a bevel tip, right? No. That's fine. Picture. All right. Picture. All right. Should go lateral again. So this one, I don't want to be too much in it. You don't want to be perfectly in the center. You want to be a little bit off center when you are reaching the anterior portion of the vertebral body. So we are at the posterior wall here, so that looks great. So we can continue. We're parallel to the Implant, looking good. I'll try to redirect again. I really prefer to have bevel needles because you have more direction and you could correct yourself a little bit here. But for the purpose of it, we'll move ahead. Picture. All right, so we are anterior. We'll grab the blunt K-wire. We're advancing the blunt K-wire and pulling back the intro of the GEMS-CD. You're making sure that you are staying within the vertebral body. Sometimes in very osteoporotic patient, this K-wire can advance. So keep an eye on it on the lateral portion, on the lateral spots. So again, this system comes in 3 different sizes, 4.2, 5.0, and 5.8. Picture. All right. So when I'm passing the skin, I'm going counterclockwise for a reason. You don't want to macerate the soft tissue. So basically up to bone contact. This is how I proceed. So I'll go counterclockwise. Now I'll go clockwise with what we call the reamer to be able to create, to create that channel. Picture. And you're always keeping an eye on the K-wire. Now you're at the posterior wall, so you can get the K-wire out, picture. And since we're just doing, normally this is a bipedicular approach, so we put 2 spine jack on both sides. For sake of time, we'll just demonstrate what's happening on one side. Well, I'll just demonstrate before I advance further, let's go AP. There's a lot of directionability with this device, so you can, as you rotate, push it higher up, inferior, more medial, more lateral. So if you still have time for correction, now is a good moment. So that's why I like to have this shot here, but we're perfectly aligned, so we'll just keep on going. We can go back lateral. Yeah, and advanced picture. And if you may have noticed, I already corrected a little bit more in the craniocaudal direction. So you want to advance it, picture, up to here, picture. And that looks like a very nice position. So what we'll do, we'll get, normally you can, if you want, use a template. So now normally is the time that patients tend to jump a little bit because that is a change of pressure within the vertebral body that is innervated by the basivertebral nerve. So it is not a part that patients like too much, so you work with your anesthesiologist or sedation nurse for this purpose. And now we have the implant in position. Picture. Picture here. Yeah, so perfectly positioned. Picture again. And you would do the same thing on the other side. Normally, I do both sides at the same time. And then you deploy both systems at the same time. So you want to make sure that the handle is well positioned, very straight. So, some like to do an AP shot, just making sure the system is well positioned. I always make sure that this handle is positioned with the head and the feet of the patient before you start cranking the system. And now you can do up to 13 turns. Picture here. Beautiful. Picture. Yeah. So very nicely open here. And that distraction is normal. So those keys are built to be able to bend, are built also, and this alligator mouth is normal because you have a gradient in density of trabecular bone, so less density anteriorly and more densely trabecular bone posterior. So this is very much normal in terms of appearance, and then you would add the bone cement afterward. So now you can deploy the system. Normally you turn the butterfly handle counterclockwise, and you unscrew this little green notch here. And then you would be ready to inject the bone cement if you wanted to. For sake of time, we'll keep it here. And when it is time to, after augmentation, when it is time to retrieve the system, you simply turn left and right, and then you will have your implant in place. Et voila. Can go back to AP. Back to you, Doug.
Very nice. Questions, comments?
Yeah, just curious. I mean, is there like a time period, or how do you pick the patient you think this is going to actually make a correction? And
yeah, so great question. So for the spine jack, acute to subacute fractures, this is where you will have more chance to bring in and raising up the vertebral body. In my practice, I do see a lot of patients that come, unfortunately, in a more chronic, still painful pattern. So those patients can still be treated, especially if they have osteoporosis or just significant decrease in density. So if they have a T-score of -3.5, -4, definitively you'll be able to raise those end plates and correct the height loss. So especially if it's a patient at the thoracolumbar junction, spine jack is great. You'll be able to restore more, normalize as much as you can the sagittal balance in those patients. So younger patients, higher grade fractures also. So I talked about the Maguire type A2.2, so coronal cleft, and more and more evidence on the A3 and some even A4 AO spine type fractures. Obviously, the A4, the complete burst, this will be a discussion in some case with the neurosurgical or orthopedic team that may require nuts fixation. But there's more and more data coming out of Europe that this is probably the right way to treat those type of fractures.
Fantastic. Yes.
If you are seeing somebody with a chronic fracture and say they have an MRI from 6 months ago, would you want a new MRI to see stir changes to see if they'd benefit, or would you just still proceed?
6 months, for me, I would still be, it would still be okay. More than 6 months is a little bit my cutoff. So some use 3 months, some use 6 months. 6 months is still fine from my perspective. You'll see it also, sometimes just doing a radiograph will give you also an idea if there's more height loss. So that can change your management, but normally 6 months, especially if it's a chronic fracture and you have an MRI from 6 months ago, it's probably fine. I would proceed.
Questions, comments? Okay, Dr. Clerk, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
So we're going to transition over to discussion about